that changes the energy from the sun's light into a form of energy that animals can eat and use to carry out their life processes. Now that's an interesting word, the word life processes. Who actually knows what the 7 life processes are? Who knows what are the 7 life processes? I'll take a hand. JD, yes, please share with us the 7 life processes.
I only know a few. I only know a few.
Mm-hmm.
One is moving, producing, exerting, and that's all I know.
All right. Thank you, JD. It was a bit hard hearing you there. All right. Thank you, JD. All right. I see Talia saying breathing. What else? Iksan says excreting, breathing. All right. That's about 3, guys. We still need more. Remember, there are 7. All right. There are 7 life processes. You're right when you said breathing, which is known as respiration. All right. Someone said excreting. What about the others? Who remembers what the others are? Yes, Iksan.
Moving, reproducing, sensing, growing, feeding, and excreting.
Ah, excellent. Thank you, Iksan. All right, 100%. All right, so we have movement. All right, obviously the movement, because plants and animals have the ability to move. Respiration, which is the process of extracting energy. Sensitivity, growth, excretion, reproduction. All right, and nutrition. All right, so that is definitely the 7 life processes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Of course, feeding, which is also known as nutrition. Awesome, guys. Well done. I'm glad that you know the 7 life processes. And if you did not, now you do. All right. Plant changes the glucose into starch. For example, mealies, which is mealies and maize flour, rice and rice flour, and wheat into flour. So, of course, that is why we rely on plants so much. And which is why photosynthesis is also so important, because we need food such as mealies and flour, and that happens because of photosynthesis. All right, so plants then store this food in different parts of the plant that an animal will eat. They can store it in the leaves, stem or roots, flowers, fruits, or seeds. Now, we all know that there are some animals which are herbivores, and herbivores eat plants. Now, obviously, animals eat certain parts of the plant, meaning they are receiving certain nutrients of the plant. All right. Some animals would probably eat the leaves, others would eat the stem, the roots, and so forth. All right. Plants make enough glucose to be used during the night and on cloudy days when they do not get sunlight. I mean, how interesting is that? That plants during the day make enough glucose to last them the whole night. I mean, we all know that we have to eat supper, let's say maybe, I don't know, 6:30, 7:00, 8:00, whatever time you eat supper, hoping that we won't get hungry throughout the night. All right, so just like plants, they need to make enough glucose to last them the entire night until the next morning. Of course, because during the night, there is no sunlight. So you can imagine on a rainy day, or when the day is just very miserable, it's very cold. And we know that in South Africa, we can have lots of those days where you can have like a good 3 to 4 days when it's just very cold, it's raining, there's no sunlight. So really the plants need to make enough glucose to last them on very cloudy days and of course at night. All right. All right. Now, the extra glucose is stored in the plant's leaves and other parts. All right. So now moving on to plants and air. Adele, you're asking me to answer something. I may have just missed that question, so please retype it just to answer your question, please. All right. Plants and air. In the process of photosynthesis, the plant takes in carbon dioxide and produces or releases oxygen. These gases flow into and out of special cells on the leaf surface called stomata. So now we know that we've got very special cells that are on the leaf, all right, which produce carbon dioxide and release oxygen. All right, these little cells are called stomata. Now, plants take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen. Humans and animals breathe in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Now, I hope that you can actually see the relationship between plants and humans. All right. Plants are releasing oxygen that we use to breathe in. All right. And we breathe out carbon dioxide that the plants use to make photosynthesis happen. All right. I see Ada asking me, can we genetically engineer glow in the dark plants? That is a very interesting question. Are you asking me if we can make glow in the dark plants, or maybe have some sort of a light in place to, what do you mean by genetically? Are you asking, can we just naturally plant a seed for glow in the dark plants, or just please rephrase that question for me to be able to answer you, Adele? But thank you so much for that question. All right. All right, so then we have, so we help the plants survive and the plants help us to survive. So we're all working together for survival. Oxygen is a very important gas to all animals and humans. We cannot live without it. So we cannot live without oxygen. We all know that. Our blood transports the oxygen we breathe in to all of the different parts of our bodies so that they can work properly. All right. And obviously, without oxygen, there is no life. And of course, a carbon dioxide is the gas we breathe out. It is made in our bodies as a byproduct of all of the body's processes. So both oxygen and carbon dioxide are important for survival for both humans and for plants. All right, now let's discuss the rate of, I almost said respiration, the rate of photosynthesis. Who can explain to me, how is it that a plant can still survive during the night? So why is it that when we go to bed, the plant, it's dark outside, the plant has still survived. In the morning when we wake up, the plant is still there. Surely the plant would die because there's no sunlight. So you can tell me, how is it that the plant is still alive and well during the night time? Yes, Adriel.
Yeah, the plant can contain glucose for the night and
All right, so Adriel saying that the plants can contain glucose for the nighttime. Thank you very, very much, Adriel. Anybody else who can tell me? Or someone who's probably got a different answer to what Adriel said? Anybody? Anybody who can tell me, or who has got a different answer from Adriel? All right, I'll just wait for those answers. Now, just looking at the bottom, it says the respiration. Now, during the daytime, the plant absorbs carbon dioxide and expels oxygen. This happens during photosynthesis. During nighttime, the plant absorbs oxygen and expels carbon dioxide, and this process is called respiration. All right. And we've got Nico that says because of the water it takes in during the day. So just like us, when we have to consume foods for different energy, you might find that that food will last us throughout the entire day. All right. The rate of photosynthesis will be affected by the amount of these ingredients available: water, sun, carbon dioxide, as well as temperature. So for photosynthesis to happen very well, all of these ingredients are important. Water is as equally important as the sun, carbon dioxide, as well as the temperature. Just like if mom had to bake a cake, a cake cannot be a cake without the water. All right, the water is very, very important to mix all the other ingredients together. Oops. Right, the cake, so the water is very, very important to mix all the other ingredients together to make a cake well. All right, this goes for any other thing that you're making. This could be a sandwich. A sandwich cannot be a sandwich without the actual bread. All right. All right, then we said the end products of photosynthesis are oxygen, which the plants release, and carbohydrates, which become the plant's source of energy. Now that just goes to show that, so plants, carbohydrates, that is their source of energy. Just like us human beings, when we eat, could be some pasta, some rice, we get our energy from carbohydrates. All right. Now, building on the basic structure of glucose, plants also use photosynthesis to create several more complex carbon-based chemicals essential to growth and survival. All right, so very, very important. Plants rely on other complex-based chemicals in order for them to survive. Just like human beings, we cannot just survive merely on eating carbohydrates. We need to balance everything out. Could be your vitamins and minerals, could be your proteins and all the other food groups that we spoke about last week. All right, so let's discuss photosynthesis at night. All right, so we know that of course during the day, the plants make enough glucose, all right, in order to survive during the night. All right, now just out of curiosity, for those of you who, you know, the supper that you had last night, do you think that your supper lasted you the entire night, or did you fall a bit hungry during the night? And you can tell me why. Did you eat enough supper last night, let's say 7 o'clock, to last you right until the next morning at 6:30? All right, and if so, did you get hungry during the nighttime, and why do you think you became hungry? All right, Ndovu says no. Ndovu, please tell me, why did your supper not last you the entire night? All right, anybody, please share with me and tell me why. Maybe some of you, you know, during the night realize that, oops, your stomach is growling and you are getting hungry. All right. Is it because that you may have not eaten enough? Or what could the reason have been? Yes, Triasha.
Ma'am, the possible way is that it might be you haven't eaten enough,
Mm-hmm.
or you didn't even eat in the night.
All right. All right. Could be that you never ate enough at night, or you just didn't eat at all. Um, all right. I see Iksan saying that I ate enough, so I did not become hungry. So most of you have obviously eaten enough food and you did not get hungry. All right. All right. And of course, Adriel says, I ate a lot, so I was not hungry. So most of you had enough food the night before, obviously, which meant that you could not fall hungry. Awesome stuff. All right, plants do almost all of the photosynthesis ahead of time when they have leaves and make enough sugar, other sugar for the plant cells to survive during the winter. So just think about an animal that has to basically hibernate and has to basically collect and have enough food to last them through the winter. So very, very similar to plants. Plants have to make food ahead of time in their leaves to last them the entire night. All right. The sugar gets stored as starch, which the plants can break down to use as energy during the winter. Just like a hibernating bear uses fat. So just like I mentioned, of course, an animal that has to hibernate during the winter, when it's still hot, the bear would collect as much food as it needs to last it through the entire winter season. Now, plants, of course, need way less energy to survive than animals do. So, of course, Plants do not use up as much energy as animals or humans do, right? They do not move as much as humans or animals. They don't go hunting for food or anything like that. So, of course, they do not need as much energy as humans or animals. So, of course, plants need way less energy to survive than animals do since they are not moving. Now, they are not maintaining a body temperature and they are not they're undergoing very little growth or repair. So it's not often that you might find a plant is injured, all right? So of course they do not need as much nutrients, vitamins and minerals to be repaired as opposed to human beings. Now, of course, if you don't use much energy, you don't need much energy. All right. So if you don't use a lot of energy, you're not running, you don't play sports, you don't do anything during the day, then of course you don't need to consume foods that will give you energy. All right. So of course, you cannot consume energy that you're not going to use. Only then when you know that you've got a netball game or a soccer match, whatever the case may be, you'll have to consume something to give you energy so that you're able to play your sports for the day, whatever the case may be. All right, now over here we just have a picture of what happens during the day and during the nighttime. Now, just looking at the first half of the circle, obviously carbon dioxide is what the plants take in and oxygen is what they take out. That's what happens during the day. And the nighttime, however, the opposite happens. And that's actually the process that we call respiration. So during the nighttime, oxygen is what comes in and carbon dioxide is what goes out. All right. It says plants do not only consume oxygen, they produce it too. This happens during the day as part of photosynthesis. So during the day, that is what is happening. Carbon dioxide comes in, oxygen goes right out. Plants produce more oxygen than they need and expel this excess oxygen through the stomata. At night, when photosynthesis stops, plants need to take in oxygen from the air. During this time, they expel carbon dioxide. So basically, what happens during the day, the complete opposite is happening at night. Right. So basically, it's just the opposite of what happened during the day, and what happens at nighttime is the opposite. All right. So during the day, carbon dioxide goes in, oxygen goes out, and in the nighttime, oxygen comes in and carbon dioxide goes out. All right, plants and air. All animals and plants need oxygen to live and carry out their life processes. So like we've spoken about already, we've spoken about the 7 life processes. And of course, for the 7 life processes to happen, we need an option, of course. So for all the 7 life processes happen, we're relying on air. All right, all animals and plants need oxygen to live and carry out their life processes. Animals breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Now, all through the day and through the nighttime. Oxygen is used to release energy from food inside the body, which is used for the life processes. I apologize, I used blue over there, which is not very clear, but it says life processes. I apologize for that. All right. So basically, this is animals. So during the day, whether it's night or it's during the day, animals will breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Just like animals, plants also use oxygen throughout the day and the night. Oxygen is necessary for plant growth and the development of new plant seeds, leaves, and shoots, for example. Shoots are just very, very small, very similar to shrubs. All right. Plants therefore also produce carbon dioxide as a waste product once the oxygen has been used. Plants do not photosynthesize during the night because there is no sunlight. All right, there's no sunlight energy during the nighttime. So obviously there is no energy available for photosynthesis to happen. This means that plants only need carbon dioxide during the day for photosynthesis. This cycle of using and producing both oxygen and carbon dioxide is very, very important to life on Earth. So both oxygen and photosynthesis is both oxygen and carbon dioxide is very, very important for photosynthesis, and photosynthesis is important for us to get food. All right, plants and people. All the energy comes from the sun. Only plants can use the light energy. Chlorophyll in green leaves uses the light energy. Chlorophyll makes glucose sugar, and plants store glucose as carbohydrates, which is also known as starch, and plants also produce oxygen. All right, Triasha, I see you've got your hand. Oh no, your hand is back down. All right, Triasha had his hand up, but it's now back down. All right. All right, moving on. All right, so I want us to try and complete this activity. So you're going to receive a word box. The words, there is organic and inorganic material. We've got photosynthesis, water, air, roots, and we've got sand and rock. So that is your word box. All right, JD, I see you got your hand up. Yes, JD. JD, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, perfect. Yes.
Ma'am, when the plants change over to they breathe in oxygen at night, where do they get the oxygen from? Because we breathe out carbon dioxide.
I missed your
We
last
get
part,
from
JD. Please repeat your question. Where do they get, I just heard where they get the oxygen from. Please repeat that again.
yes, ma'am. Where do they get oxygen from? Like let's say because plants give us oxygen. And if the plants turn over, where do they get the oxygen from?
Are you saying maybe at night? Are you referring to at night?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so
Where do
if
they
I heard all right, so if I heard you properly, because there's just a lot of air coming from your speaker, I think your question is, just tell me if I'm correct. Where do plants get the oxygen from if at night they're sleeping? I think that was your question, JD. Am I correct? Let me just unmute you. Am I correct? Did I get that right?
No, ma'am. I'm saying where do they get oxygen from? Because plants give us oxygen.
Oh, so JD is asking, where do the plants get oxygen from? All right, I think I got that correct. So JD is asking me, where do plants get oxygen from if they are giving us oxygen? Now remember, we are obviously breathing out carbon dioxide, and with the process of light, turning light energy, they use our carbon dioxide to get oxygen. All right, so that's why we are all helping each other in terms of carbon dioxide and oxygen. So whatever it is that we're breathing in, all right, which is oxygen, and breathing out carbon dioxide, right? And when they breathe it in using the sunlight, they're getting their oxygen from. I hope I've answered your question, if I've actually heard it correctly. All right. Trasha, your hand was up, but you seem to have taken it back down. All right. So we've got number one here. It says the process when the green parts of plant make food is named. So we need to fill in this missing word. You've got your word box at the top. And the first part is the process when the green plants of plants make food is named. So what is it named? All right, I see Jabulo saying roots, Iksan saying photosynthesis, Talia photosynthesis. All right, let us find out. So remember the process when the green plant parts of the plant food is named, it is named photosynthesis. Remember, when the key word here is the word process. So photosynthesis is always a process in which plants make their own food. All right. Water and minerals are absorbed by the of the plants. What is it? Water and minerals are absorbed by the of the plants. All right, I see a lot of you are saying roots. Very, very good. A lot of you are saying roots. All right, let us find out if it is roots. Before that, I'll just take a hand. Yes, Triasha.
Ma'am, I think it's sand and rocks.
All right, let's find out. All right, thank you. What about you, Adriel? Adriel, are you there? All right, struggling to unmute Adriel. There we go. Adriel, yes?
It's the roots, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Adriel. Adriel is saying the roots. All right, and very good. So water and minerals are absorbed by the roots of the plants. All right, soil is made, oh my goodness, and I just clicked the answer. There we go. Soil is made up of organic and inorganic material, water, air, sand, and rocks. So of course, soil is made up of all those materials. All right, so organic and inorganic material, water, air, sand, and rocks. All right, so I want to just have a look at this picture over here. We'll start off by the human being. It says the human being, humans breathe it out, plants take it in, and then plants release it, humans breathe it in. What goes on the top? What word goes to the top? I'll just give you a couple of seconds to just get those answers coming in. All right. I see a lot of you saying carbon dioxide, CO2. All right, awesome. Definitely carbon dioxide. Right, and the last one at the bottom, plants release it and humans breathe it in. What is that? Just a couple more seconds for you to get those answers in. All right, I love to see all these answers. All right, a lot of you are saying oxygen. All right, 100%, definitely it is oxygen. So humans breathe out oxygen and plants take it in, and then obviously plants release it and humans breathe in oxygen. Very, very good. All right, now I want you to just, with the pictures that are about to come up, you're going to explain to me which part of this plant do we eat? Are we eating the stem, the leaves, the roots, seeds, or the fruit? So there are going to be several pictures coming up, and you're going to tell me which part of this plant do humans eat? All right, here is the first one. Cabbage. Which part of this cabbage do we eat? Which part of the cabbage do we eat? We've got Zamili saying the leaves. Kuaway P50, I hope I could know your name, says leaves. Talia, leaves. All right, a lot of you are saying the leaves, 100%. So cabbages, we are eating the leaves. All right, so I just happened to scroll up just to attend to a question that I received earlier on about artificial lights, or rather if we can make light for photosynthesis. So actually there are what we call artificial lights that can be used for photosynthesis. However, they are not as efficient as the actual sunlight. All right, so during the night you can have those lights, and they do still allow for photosynthesis to happen, but not as good as the natural sunlight. All right, I can't remember who asked me that question. Yeah, but they asked me about the lights, if we can basically create your own lights of photosynthesis. Yes, they can be artificial lights, but they're not as good as the natural sunlight. All right, I hope I answered your question. All right. Anyway, moving on. So definitely we are eating the leaves of a cabbage. All right, what about broccoli? Are we eating the stem, leaves, roots, seeds, fruits? And there's action option for the flower, which I forgot to add there. There are times where we actually eat the flower of the food. Right. So in terms of broccoli, what are we eating? So Millie says flower, got seeds, the stem. All right, interesting. So with broccoli, we can eat the stem. All right, you can boil the stem. And of course, we're eating the flower of the food. 100%. Very, very good, guys. Thank you so much for those answers. All right. Over here, what about this food over here? Which part of it are we eating? Are we eating the stem, the roots, the leaves, or the seeds? All right, a lot of you are saying stem. Very, very good. We are eating the stem of the food. All right, what about this one over here? Which part of this food are we eating? The fruits, the seeds, roots, leaves, or the stem? Which part are we eating? All right, your answers are coming in and you are all saying the roots. We've got JD saying the roots, Mr. OG, Tim Baker saying the roots. All right, awesome. So we are eating the roots of this food, right? We're definitely eating the roots. All right, and of course here we've got some bananas. Which part of the banana do we eat? Which part of the banana do we eat? All right, Zemili says fruit, Ndovu fruit, Mr. OG fruit, Sklebile fruit. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We are definitely eating the fruit of these. Right, very last one. Which part of these this is actually asparagus. Someone asked me yesterday, what is asparagus? It was very, very hard to describe, but this is what asparagus looks like. Right. So which part of the asparagus are we eating? All right, yes, it was Amelie that asked, yes. And we, of course, we're eating the stem of asparagus. Who likes asparagus? Actually, you eat asparagus. I don't like it. Anybody who enjoys eating asparagus? All right, Adriel says, not me, neither do I. I don't like it at all. All right, a lot of you are saying no, no, no. All right, that's interesting. All right, so I'm glad we have something in common. We just don't eat asparagus. Yay. All right, awesome. All right, so this is basically just the cycle of gases. All right, just looking at the first picture at the bottom, it says during the day, plants use sunlight to photosynthesize, and they obviously produce oxygen. So now we know, just like I said, JD, earlier on when you asked me where do the plants get oxygen from, during that process of photosynthesis from the sun, they are producing their own oxygen. All right, in the middle, animals use oxygen in respiration, which is also just breathing, all in time to release energy. And of course, at night, plants also use oxygen to respire, which means to breathe. And they also need to use up energy to grow. So that's just the cycle of gases. All right. So, oopsie, sorry guys. All right, so next week, not next week, I apologize. Tomorrow we are going to be discussing different ecosystems, all right? This will just basically show the importance of photosynthesis, just showing you also the importance as to why different ecosystems and different plants and animals living in certain ecosystems rely on photosynthesis to take place. All right. So thank you so much for your answers, and thank you so much for taking in and responding to me and asking all of your questions, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope I've answered each and every single question. I hope I never missed anything in the chats. If I did, you can be the first one to ask me tomorrow morning. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Please do remember to just contact me should you need any more information, or if you didn't get a chance to ask your question, please do ask your questions through my email. Remember to follow us on social media. And thank you, guys. Have an awesome day. All right. And I will see you all again tomorrow. Goodbye.